Day after day, watching from afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance, wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. She gives birth to a son named Sinfjotli. After a time, she sends him to the forest to Sigmund. He tests the boy and finds him strong and fearless, and so they go to take their vengeance on King Siggeir. But luck is not on their side. They're captured, and Siggeir has them buried alive.
It's a trick. It's an illusion. It's not real. Do you think it's real? You want to believe it's real, but it's a trick. Deluded. Where are you going? Where is she going? What is she following? You can't even fight. It's just deception.
How does he so effortlessly court the world and bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew and dance with it, just like he does.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zenua's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
No one?
Well, I watched you, and
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
me?
I'm Dillian. I'm here for the warrior trials. Just come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who is supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are. But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all.
Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy you.
They won't stop me. I can still feel it.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here!
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone!
You will die here.
No!
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Shut up! Dillian? Is that you? I'll find you, my love. I promise.
see him. You want to believe it. Is he not real? Is he there? You're alone in these mountains. Is that Delia? Nothing lives here. You won't survive. You met him by the tree. She met him by the tree. Maybe it's a sign, the tree. What's he trying to tell you? He's waiting for you by the tree.
As Sigmund and Sinfjotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Siggeir's hall. The king burns to death. Sigmund calls to his sister to come out so that she may live and be honored. She does come out, but only to tell him the truth. That she had slept with him, her brother, to beget a strong avenger. I am not fit to live, she says, and walks back into the fire. Strike vengeance from your heart, Senua, as there is always a heavy price to pay. And here is the end of Sigmund's story. He was a fierce and great warrior who fought many battles. But one day, an old man came onto the battlefield. Although shadowed by a hood, Sigmund saw that he only had one eye. The man raised his spear, and Sigmund struck at it with his sword, but the sword shattered into pieces. Sigmund then knew that this was Odin, and thus that victory could not be his. He bowed his head and accepted his end. Dying, he tells his wife that she is with child, and that her son will one day make a great weapon out of the fragments of his sword. The sword named Gram. Its name is Gram. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge Gram by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard.
The roots of the Tree of Death will take you to new lands where you will face the trials.
Go to the shards. Go to the shard. Go to the shards. What's the shard? Find it.
It's the metal runestones.
It's in front of you. Find it. The metal. The runes.
You need
Where
that
is
to
it?
find
Find
it.
it. There it is.
Focus.
There's the shard. Focus.
Focus.
Use your eyes. Look.
Get closer.
What can you see?
Go to it. It's
I
not
want to
safe.
tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
The bridge. You've come this far, but the bridge is broken.
There's no way you can fix it.
What do you do now, Senua?
His face. What is it?
What does it see?
Get closer.
See.
Stay back. Don't touch it.
Where are we?
What is this?
It's the same. It's another world. It's lighter.
It's nicer. I like it here. Can we stay?
Let's stay here.
I like the way it's safe here.
It's light here.
It's nice.
The bridge.
It's not broken.
It's fixed.
What happened?
The bridge is fixed.
Let's cross it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the world, fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make their vow. Neither weapons nor wood will injure him, Balder's mother boasts. Only Loki, father of Hela, the mistress of death, is not amused.
Dillion is in there.
Don't forget.
You can feel it. You need the runes to fight Dillion. You need Dillion. He's waiting for you.
He always said he would.
He's close.
He cares about you. I can feel he's close.
He loves you.
I can feel his love.
Calling you. Dillion. Dillion.
She can't.
Open the gate. It's locked. Try harder.
She can't. The gate. She can't. She can't. She will. She'll find a way. She wants. go through it.
It's dangerous.
Follow it.
What's behind the gate?
Where will it take you?
It's not safe.
Dillion.
There he is.
There he is.
What are you waiting for?
Quick, find a way.
Find him.
Go through.
He disappears.
Dillion, don't lose him.
Way too many times.
Always let him disappear.
Dillion, there he is.
Quick.
Where is he?
Where's he gone?
We're in the wrong world.
He's not here.
She's in the wrong world.
He's not in this world.
He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world.
the dark.
The dark world. The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillion taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
Do you remember the way he looked?
You're in the wrong world.
He's in the other world.
The dark world. And you.
The gods feast and rejoice and amuse themselves by throwing spears and stones at Baldur, striking at him with sword and axe. But he comes to no harm, whatever they do. The gods never cease to wonder at this great marvel. But Loki shapes himself into a woman and asks Baldur's mother, "Is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe?" "I did not ask the mistletoe," Baldur's mother confesses. "I thought it was too young." Oh dear.
Dillion saved you from them.
Senua. Dillion didn't believe in the curse. Dillion believed in you.
Do you remember what it was to touch him? Dillion saved her.
You owe your life to Dillion.
You owe everything
Because he believed in you.
There he is.
Where are you taking me?
He's up there. How do you get up there? There's a way. And now the there is a way up there. Find the way. She can do it. You're nearly there. Just find the way.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, I cannot see where Balder stands, and even if I could see him, I have no weapon. Loki replies, here is a wand. I will tell you where he stands. And Huth throws the mistletoe at Balder. It pierces through him, and to everyone's horror, Balder is killed. And for this, Huth is slain.
You have no chance.
Nobody will love you again.
Ever again.
Are you kidding? Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her past, and Dillian, her future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
Do you know? Was it worth it?
You're still alive and Dillian's dead. He doesn't deserve to be dead.
How does that make you feel?
You have no time for this. Speed up.
These rooms mean nothing. It's part of their game.
They've set you trials to distract you.
They've set you up, and now they're going to watch you.
What if these trials mean nothing?
It's laughing at you.
What if they take you no closer to Dillian?
Dillian, you let this get in the way.
If they are just to tire you out, to make you weak before the battle starts. She destroys the thing she loves.
Do you feel safe?
Dillian loves you.
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess to do it. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Balder's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
Does she have light within her? She is pure darkness. Just like it strangled him. Do you remember what it was to touch him?
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Balder return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Balder stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Balder, weep him out of Hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they found in a cave. Balder was never my friend, she says. Let Hel keep what she has. The Northmen say that the giantess must have been Loki in disguise.
Do you think she remembers him?
What if this is pointless?
What are you doing? Why did you think you could make this work?
You keep seeing runes. You see runes everywhere.
Everywhere.
What if they're not real?
What if they don't actually make sense?
If they're a trick?
The gods were lying.
You think it makes sense, but really the gods are playing with you.
It makes sense in your mind, but it doesn't make sense. Worlds.
The gods. But it doesn't mean anything.
You can't read this language, you don't understand.
Sinbel was right.
You're wasting time.
You're cursed. You'll succeed. Slow, quicker. He was the only one that really loved her.
He did love her.
Dillion's in the tower.
He's there. Dillion saved her.
You owe your life to Dillion.
You owe everything to him. What if they're all about wasting your time, just delaying minute by minute by minute? What does she think she's doing? You're special. She thinks she can win.
They mean nothing.
Special. Waste of time. It could all be a waste of her time.
What if the gods are laughing at her?
Messing with her.
It wouldn't be this.
Be the first time.
Dillion!
Be very, very careful.
Dillion never much cared for the underworld, and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Sinbel. I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see, and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillion's arms.
She's not.
Learned to see the world through his eyes.
She's steady. She can
Slowly,
do it.
the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Be quick. Be quick. Careful. Breathe. Where's he gone? It's your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him to it. Just come to the water. He's drowned.
Senua. Your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So if someone is afraid of the dark, should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that you, and only you, can see just to be rid of your nightmares? Or is this the price you pay for the gift you have? A gift that makes you so special in my eyes. Just another part of the person I'm not.
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so